What's good, fam? It's your boy Jorge. Welcome to another episode of Hanging with the Boys. On co-hosting duties today, we got Adam Jones.
That's me. This is as beardless as you'll ever see me, so enjoy it.
We have a lot of bearded men that listen to the show, so
Oh, so they're not going to like me today.
yeah.
Sorry, guys. I had to shorten it for a little bit.
You think you'll ever go to the
To the skin?
no, to like
Oh,
beard, beard?
No. I don't even know if mine would grow that far, to be honest with you. Like, I just get like that long scruff look, and then I get kind of tired of it. But like, I've never like grown to the point of an actual beard. I don't know if my face would do it.
Yeah. I think it would.
Yeah.
But see, it comes in like yours is like perfect. Like comes in nice and
It's not
there's
Joe Dirt like.
no patches.
Yeah. Another thing I'll never do. I'll never go to the skin again, I don't think.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's not for me. I feel like I look like a baby.
Yeah, sometimes that's good.
Maybe it is.
Especially when we get older.
Maybe when I'm hosting FMX Rampage, I should shave all the way down to the skin. That way people don't think I'm so fucking old, dude. Not a good way to grab the kids at the show. You look like a fucking mid-50s
you don't want to be grabbing
guy.
the kids at the show.
Hey, man.
No diddy.
Oh,
so what's up, dude? You a permanent resident of Costa Rica?
Seems like it. What's that? 3 weekends this year I've been back. Potentially might be there like 8 weekends or something next year, I guess. They're planning on ramping up this tour that they're doing. It's Marco Picotto. I'm sure you remember him from Nuke's days and stuff like that.
Quad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So he lives in Costa Rica, and he's been starting these shows. Last year was his first year, second year this year. They've been growing them, getting more sponsors, and they're pretty big, dude. And the Costa Rican people love them. So it looks like next year they've got like 8 of them, I think it is. And I think the plan's probably going to be to ship a bike down there, one of my bikes, and just leave it down there for the year. Because, dude, TSA has been fucking me so hard the last month. And I can't imagine doing this any more than I have to right now. Yeah. I'm so sick of traveling with my suspension bag. But it's been fun. Costa Rica is a really cool place. There's something about it. Like, it's kind of like when you walk around down there, like, it's kind of like primitive looking.
It's like old, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, and like slightly like third world. I don't mean to be rude. I just mean that's the vibe you get, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Honolulu where everything's like nice and new and all this stuff, even though there's homeless encampments everywhere in Honolulu now. Anyways, but it's got such like a chill vibe to it. It's just really cozy. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're an American, you go down there, you're like, dude, nobody's in a hurry. You know, you don't really run into people who are assholes or in bad. I don't know, dude. It's got a vibe. Like all the food places you go to are open environments. There's no walls. No walls. They're just these big like open areas. You just walk under a roof. It's all air flowing through there. And I'm not doing a good job of selling Costa Rica right now, but it is pretty cool. So it's not a bad place to have shows at.
Costa Rica is part of the United States?
No. South America.
No, I know, but isn't it?
I don't think so.
I think
you're thinking of
Cuba?
No,
Costa Rica.
Not Costa Rica. Costa Rica is not part of the United States, but it's where I shot that damn movie. Is it Puerto Rico? Is that what you're thinking of?
Oh yeah. It's one of those two. I don't know which one.
Costa Rica's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, and I was thinking Cuba when you were talking about, because I think one of those places, or it might be all 3 of them. But like, yeah, they have like all like the old ass cars from back in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. And people actually like drive them there because that's what they have there.
I didn't see too much of that in Costa Rica, but that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
They're just still running all the old American hand-me-downs.
Okay. So yeah, so traveling is like passport and.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. Like I don't think you need a visa to get there. Every time I go through customs, it's basically just like, you know, do you have a hotel? Where's it at? If you don't, I don't think they want to let you through because I don't know. They probably don't want people sleeping on the streets. It's not like America, you know. They don't want people sleeping on the streets there.
Well, they don't want that either. They just
in America.
Yeah,
hard to tell.
They'll just put you in a hotel somewhere.
Yeah, but it is cool. It's been pretty good. Like,
did you go 3 weekends in a row?
No, 2 weekends. So I went 1 weekend back in. I think it was the last weekend of January. We went for Nitro Circus and we did that full 360 show for Nitro Circus. And then this month, I went 2 weekends ago. I went to Costa Rica. Dude, I can't remember the names. And there's no way I'm going to say them right either. And then, so after the first weekend, I came home, went to Southern California. I picked up a show for Josh Hanna of the Freestyle Kings. They just wrapped a tour in Australia. He had a show at the Long Beach Grand Prix, and he hit me up and he was like, hey man, I'll pay you a fee and your lander a fee if you can take your stuff down there and like kind of handle this show for me. So I did that, and we turned it into a family trip to spend 2 days at Disneyland, which was super, super good. I love going there with the kids and just seeing them get excited.
Yeah. For that show, so you obviously took your setup, but then you also wrote it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Took my setup. I didn't take any sound stuff at that one. I didn't have any of that. They hosted it all. Well, yeah, they had a PA. He hired Kenny Bell was the announcer. So it was a nice little Reno NV get together. But Kenny Bell was the announcer. It had my ramp. Jared McNeil wrote it. Colby Gort wrote it. And I wrote it. And it was really cool, man. It was on like, the front drag of the GP. The GP was set to start the next day. Huge crowd, like great crowd, 30-minute show. The people there were great. Like all the people I dealt with to put the show on were easy to deal with. And that kind of makes it all way more enjoyable.
Right. Speaking of that Kobe dude, I just kind of started seeing him pop up on like my Instagram stuff. The guy does some cool stuff.
Yeah, he's sick, man. He's like probably the only up-and-comer in America. And it's hard to even call him an up-and-comer because with his tricks that he has more tricks than any of the guys left in fucking America right now. So he's not... The only reason I call him an up-and-comer is just because, like, he's kind of past the contest stage to where there's a lot of places to, like, prove yourself and build a name. So it's a bummer that we have to talk about it that way. But he's sick, and he's a super nice kid. I always enjoy being around him when I am around him, and probably going to get him on Rampage one of these days, but schedule's just got to line up.
Yeah, it seems like he's one of those guys. There's been a few guys that I've seen pop up now, and I don't really know the names, but just the new social media type guys, but then also like video part guys. They're just doing like YouTube videos and kind of street vibe. And that's where I saw that Kobe kid doing like a cliffhanger flip to like a ramp to like cement.
Really?
And I was like, holy shit. Because
didn't see that one.
It's like not crazy. I mean, there's a few people that do cliffhanger flips and stuff, but
no, it's pretty crazy to do it in like a street setting.
Yeah, but you're doing it to like a embankment.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, dude, that is gnarly. So seeing that, I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And then I saw that you rode with him, and I was like, oh, that guy's pretty dope.
Yep, he's pretty sick. I'm really not into the whole street FMX thing. Like, it's just
kind of the thing, I think.
I guess it is, but you know what I've always said my whole career is fuck whatever the thing is. I don't give a shit. But no, I don't know. Good on them. Do whatever they got to do. I just one of those deals. Like, I just don't give a fuck. So
yeah. So how was Disneyland?
It's great, man. You go down there with your family, and if you only book like 2 days in, like we did, it's pretty brutal. Like, I think the second day we were there in the park for 12 hours straight.
Yeah.
Usually I like to do like go in the morning, get a little afternoon break, maybe pass out for half an hour or something, then go back for the evening. But the second day it didn't work out that way. But you spend so much fucking time walking in there, dude. Like 23,000 steps a day. And like, just luckily the weather was great. Crowds were pretty big as always, but you got to soak it up while the kids are still young enough to really be into it. And Blair's pretty old now. He's turning 15 next month. But like all the kids, when you get them together, when you get him, Link, and Ray together, like they have a blast. So it's so worth it to me to have my feet hurt for a couple of days afterwards. And, it feels like you did the hardest workout of your life being in the park for 2 days. But it's good, man.
But the kids love it, right?
They love it. Yeah, they love it.
So that's the thing. We were just on spring break, and we took the boys to Vegas, which I think a lot of people were like, that's kind of weird. But it was my oldest birthday. Mm-hmm. So turning 10 years old. So we're like, all right, so we're in our area. Obviously, you can tell it sucks. Like for party stuff, there's not much to do, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we've gone to the gymnastics tumbleweeds for people's birthdays, so it's like you can only do so much. So we're like, all right, so what are we going to do? We're going to do something big, or what do you want to do? So we gave him the option, and he wants to travel.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Never been on an airplane or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
So we talked about the whole Disneyland, Universal Studios, and everything. My kids don't really appreciate that stuff right now. Mm-hmm. They don't care. I know a lot of people, they go to Disneyland because they love Disney.
Yeah.
My kids would go there and see Star Wars stuff and be like, cool. You know what I mean? So it's not really worth it.
Yeah.
So we showed him like Vegas stuff and all that. He's like, yeah, that's cool. And, you know, he's excited about the plane ride. So we go there. We stay at the Luxor. He couldn't believe.
That one's pretty cool for the kids.
He couldn't believe it was like a pyramid and the hieroglyphs everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, and we went and saw the Paris casino and everything. And he like just couldn't believe how they do the stuff there. And so just that on its own, he was like blown away. And I'm like, this is Vegas, dude. Like kind of anything you want is here.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, lots of walking, lots of spending money on food, like and stuff like that. I think the highlight was we went to a Michael Jackson show.
Oh yeah.
Which was like the number one like Michael Jackson impersonator in the world. So we went to his show and
I would imagine he would probably be in Vegas.
Yeah.
Right?
So coolest part was, you know, Jackson's always liked him and everything. So he's all dancing and stuff. And the very last song they do is Billie Jean, which is, you know, one of the popular ones. He goes out in the crowd and gets both the boys and he like has them singing.
Oh, no
so both
way.
of them are singing. And then he goes on stage and throws his glove to Jackson and he grabs it. And then he does some more stuff and, you know, he does like the moonwalk and everything with his hat. And then he grabs his hat and throws it and my other kid grabbed it. So both my boys got like the glove and Michael Jackson's hat. So that was like cool. And it's like always cool to see your kids be happy, you know? So that's like the number one thing.
I think Vegas is like, I agree with you. People are going to be like, what, Vegas? But there's so many displays there.
Yeah.
You know, there's aquariums. Like, did you guys see the Titanic display in the Luxor?
No, we went to the King Tut one.
Have you ever seen the Titanic display?
I haven't.
Dude, it's so good. I think it's so good.
I don't say that because my wife wanted her to go because she saw it. She's been there. She's been there. And I was like, nah, I don't really want to do it. And then I kind of kept saying that. And then towards the end, she's like, all right, we're going to do it. And then Jack was like, nah, I don't really want to do it either.
You got to show him the movie or show him the movie after it and he'll like it. Plus he gets to see a titty if he sees the movie. Mm-hmm. No, that one's really cool. But aside from that, like there's a lot to do in Vegas. And like the only hazard about it is that there are the drunk fucking idiots that are walking around that you got to just avoid. But like,
I mean, we went during the week, so it was like pretty mellow.
Not that bad, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And, you know, we got to go out in the pool. Yeah. We love the pool.
So much cool stuff to look at when you're a kid. Like I'm an adult and I still go there and it's like, wow, like giant buildings and everything's
even more.
Like, yeah.
Dude,
that's true. Even more now, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. We took the tram ride next to the Sphere. The thing's impressive, like the big ball.
Oh, see, I haven't really been been there to check that out.
Yeah. No. So we went around it and we were taking video and like, dude, there was like an event going on. The line was huge to get into that place. Yeah. It was gnarly. And like I think Tiger Woods just opened up a spot like this week.
Really?
That's a mini golf type deal. It's like huge.
Tiger Woods mini golf. That's funny.
So it's like stuff like that. The Luxor has like a gaming arena. That's you could go in there and it was like $15 for an hour.
I didn't know that.
We're Nevada residents, so we got 2 hours.
Yep. Oh, sick.
And they go in there and they have like a bunch of games preloaded and just like accounts where you could like put your own account in there and get your own stuff. But they checking out games. We played for 2 hours and they were just pumped.
Lots to do. And the buffets and everything. Yeah. Like my kids love the buffets. Just they get to put whatever they want on their plate, which is not normal. But yeah, it is cool, man. It is like, it's fun to go there as a family, especially if, like you said, go midweek and avoid the wasted people and everything. Yeah, but that's been our thing. And just, I know that if we go to like a Disneyland, they'd be over it pretty quick. Be like, yeah, I'm tired of walking. Yeah. And like, I kind of, you know, and they don't like care about that stuff. Yeah. To where I'm like, well, let's go see Mickey. Yeah. Like, I don't care. Dude, hey, I get it, man. Like if they're not into it, there's no reason to force that because it's a mission to go there. Yeah. And it's expensive. So it's like, dude, it's better to find out what they're into and, you know, do that sort of stuff. I'm trying to really focus on like, I guess be less busy all the time and like make time for little trips and like, you know, like who cares if it feels like you haven't made enough money this week and maybe you shouldn't go on vacation. Like I got savings, like I'm okay. Like go on fucking vacation. Like, cause that's what matters, you know? And I'm trying to like really focus on like controlling the demons inside that tell me got to keep working, got to keep making money, savings got to be bigger, blah, blah, blah. And just like live life, right? Cause you can wait for that time down the road that you're hoping is coming, but like you're missing everything in the meantime.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we did Hawaii earlier in the year. We did Disneyland last week. We're going to that Safari West Park in NorCal next week for just a day. But like trying to focus on like just live more, you know, work hard, but then live more.
No, that's right. And I've had this mentality for a while now, but there was a time where, you know, like friends would invite you to do stuff. And how many times do you say yes? And then it comes time to it and you're like, I don't want to fucking go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you like talk yourself out of it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I caught myself doing that. And then I was like, dude, I need to stop that. And one of the things is, you know, people pass away or like whatever it may be. And it's like, that might be your last time you hang out with your buddy.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just being lazy because that's what it is.
Yep.
At least for me, I'm just being lazy because I'm like, I came home, I did something and I came home and then now I'm like comfortable and I'm like, oh man, I got it. So you make them an excuse or whatever. And it's like, no, go out.
I do this shit all the time too.
Yeah. So that's, you know, different extent to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But like just being in the moment, just being like, if you say yes to something or just take those chances, I guess, or whatever, and go out, have fun with your friends or like see people or whatever, especially when you make plans, just make it happen because you never know.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. And like, does it feel better when you blow it off and sit on your couch? Or does every time that you go, fuck it, I'm going out, like, do you feel better after that? You know, when you're like, man, I went and I saw him and I hadn't seen him in a while and that was nice. Like, I'm glad I did it. Most cases at the end of it, you say, glad I did it.
Yeah. I was going to say though, to be honest,
there are times.
To be honest, it's like, if I was just sitting on my couch right now, it'd be kind of nice still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
That's what makes it hard.
May have overstated slightly.
Yeah.
But I'm gone so much too that sometimes it really feels like I had a buddy hit me up and say he wanted to go ride in the pits in Tahoe this weekend. They're not prepping, so it's dry as balls anyways. And I'm like, yeah. And I can already feel like, are you going to back out later? Like, cause like I've been gone this whole month, you know what I mean? And like, I'd kind of like to ride, but like, also I don't want to be like non-existent to my family at all. And I'm gone a lot as it is. So like, I don't know if they want to go riding, sure, we'll all go. But if they don't want to go riding, like, am I going to just go burn 5 hours of my day, like leaving again to do something that like, it's not going to be that good. Fucking dry ass sand pits, dude. You kidding me?
Yeah, that's a tough one because you do travel so much. But I'm kind of in the same boat. There's a Mammoth qualifier this weekend at Hangtown. So I already like in my mind committed and told like my wife and stuff. And Miller's supposed to go, but I don't know if his bike is because something was wrong with his bike. So I haven't really committed with him because he might not even go. But I already committed to myself, but I'm already trying to talk myself out of it. And I'm like, but why? Like, just go.
Yeah, because I thought Mammoth, that's like the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Is there another qualifier or something?
No, this is the last one.
Oh, so you fucking got to go, dude. Talk yourself out of that one. The fucking deal's over, dude.
Yeah, so, you know, but it's easy to talk yourself out of shit sometimes.
It is, man. We get a little too comfortable at times. I do think, you know, we work hard and everything, but like, I don't know, man. Life's not just about sitting and being comfortable the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, really, to kind of end the topic, when you die, you don't take none of this shit with you.
I know.
So it's like, I get why you work so hard, but like, but really, why do you work so hard?
Pass it on to your kids, give them a jump start. Like, that's good. But, hey, man, nobody left me shit. Like,
exactly.
And it makes you figure it out, right?
Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, if you had, you know, $50 million, how do you think your kids are going to grow up?
Yeah,
it's a
probably
tough
pretty
one.
Fucked up. You'd have to have like a time release program.
Yeah.
It's like they're going to get like $75,000 a year.
Yeah.
Until a certain year.
Or they don't get money until they turn 30.
Yeah. Oh, I've actually thought about that before. Like, not that I should be thinking about this because I don't have any fucking money anyways, but like just in a what would you do sense. But yeah, I've fully thought about this before and thought like I would not give them anything. Maybe you'd give them enough that where they could like put a down payment on their first house or something like that. That way they could have a place at a certain point. But yeah, like if you had a large inheritance, it has to come after 30, dude.
Yeah.
You're such a fucking idiot before 30. Even at 30, I was still a fucking idiot. But like, dude, 20s, fucking forget about it, dude.
Yeah.
You'd waste that. You'd the hookers and whatever, you'd get into cocaine and fucking who knows what you like. You'd be buying fucking race cars and shit, dude. Like, you would have to have a program where that you don't get it till 30.
And you didn't make that money.
Yeah, so you don't respect it.
Yeah, so it's easy to do the blow and
all that,
and hookers. Yeah,
you're not even into blowing hookers, and all of a sudden you're doing blowing hookers.
You're like, dude, I got so much money, I got to spend it on something.
I gotta try it.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's the thing. Yeah, and I always think about that too. Like, dude, I didn't like just get handed shit.
Yeah.
And then the way we're going, my kids have a pretty good life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I need to settle down a little bit so they kind of see the struggle.
Yeah.
You know, I take my kids to work all the time and they see me work and, you know, see all that stuff. And I know they kind of appreciate, dude, here's a story. So my kid got money for the trip. And I took the money. So like we'd pay like tips with that or whatever. But I got him a Visa gift card, right? Because he wanted to use like a credit card type thing. So I got him a card, right? So we're like, dude, anything you want within what's on that card, it's your money. So you just take it out and you pay whatever you want, right? Dude, he's looking at everything. He's like, $20? You know, dude, it was so funny.
Oh my God.
20. He's like, I really want that though. And then he's I want that too. And then like counting, he's like 20 and 30. That's like half my money. No, I'm not doing it.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
There was this one station where it was they got clams or whatever they're called, and they got pearls in them, like guaranteed. So they'll like open them up in front of you, take out. Sometimes there's more than one or whatever. They'll take it out, and then you got to buy the catches. You also got to buy the jewelry they put it on. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like buying the clam or whatever for like $20. It's also you got to buy the jewelry.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. So we're like looking, and he's like, yeah, I'll do that. That's really cool. I really want that. So then we're looking at the pieces for like a necklace for him and stuff. He's like, $70. So no, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, dude, I really, and a lot with me is like, I don't treat him like a friend. Like he's my son. Yeah. You know, like parents sometimes treat their kids like friends. Yeah,
we'll go into that next.
So I treat him like my son. So I always try to give him the lesson. But I'm like, dude, I really appreciate you not doing that. It's your money. You can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I know you want something different. And you kind of want that. But you realize that all your money would be gone on that. Yeah. So like, I really appreciate that. So that's the thing. So point being, you know, I try to teach them about money and hard work and everything. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, but unless they like kind of grow up like us with nothing and you got to actually grind and work hard, you don't have the appreciation for money. Yeah. You know, like, or how hard it is to like earn an honest buck and spending and stuff like that. So hopefully I'm doing a good job, but at the same time, when stuff's just given to you, the kids, you know.
What was it like with money where like how you grew up? Because the reason I say this is because like I feel like I've got like money complexes. Not that I don't want a lot of it. Not that I mean that, but like I've got like money worry complexes that I feel like are like built into me from my childhood. You know what I mean? And I think there's like me and Kim talk about this sometimes. I think there's like certain levels of things with money that like you just don't talk to kids about. You know what I mean? Obviously, but like, you know, them being aware of like how to spend and how to use money, I think that's all important life lessons for them. Otherwise, first time they get money, they're just gonna think it's fucking paper and use it whenever they want. But point is like I always worry about money. You know, especially with what I do. I always worry about like, you know, how am I going to be all right? How am I going to be all right? Oh my gosh, these bills, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like I worry too much. And like, how do you not put that on to your kids? Because like, I feel like that was put on to me because of like the way everything was in the house that no shame to my parents. Like you know, we didn't grow up with money by any means at all. And, but like the attitude towards it was maybe a little like funny. And I feel like that rubbed off on me. So it's like, what do you think about that? And how was like the money conversation in your house growing up? And like, do you think it had an effect on you and like what kind?
Yeah. It's a good question. I don't worry about money at all.
I wish I had that. Fuck.
But then my personality is I don't worry about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I worry about my kids, like health, and that's basically it. You know? growing up in a Hispanic household is probably a lot different than a white household. So the way that we grew up is like, you know, and I love my parents, they're good people and stuff, but kind of like a dictator almost. So growing up in a Hispanic household, you're put to work at a very young age. You know, that's why I always tell my son, I'm like, dude, when I was your age, I was already doing this. Yeah. You know? So you grow up in that, and then you're in your teens and even like later on in life, and you have that respect for your parents that you don't like go off on your own, or you do
like
what
you're still kind of working like for them.
Yeah.
Like doing
you do what they tell you.
Whatever the family needs to like, yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of that times was like, I wasn't getting paid for it.
Yeah.
You know? And then I remember asking my dad for a raise one time. He's like, for what? And I'm like, so I would have more money. And his basic answer was like, don't you have everything? And it's like, well, yeah. He's like, what do you need more money for? So it's like, he didn't understand the fact that you're kind of hindering my growth of like maybe possibly like financial literacy. You know, you're hindering that growth. And then also like, I'm not able to like sit here by myself and be like, I can save money. You know what I mean? Because you're not giving me. So it's like, you're making me work. And yes, you give me stuff. Like he'd be like, I'm like, hey dad, I want to go out with some friends. Oh yeah, you need some money here. And stuff like that. But it's like, don't you think it would be better if like they make you work for it and you get that money and you earn it?
Yeah. That's interesting because I don't actually know. I'm not sure, because when you say like maybe he hindered your financial growth or knowledge or whatever it was that you said, dude, maybe he also instilled that mindset of like, I'm good. I'm okay. Because I've never felt like that. I've never felt like I'm okay. I'm good. Like that's what I want. I just want to be like, hey, dude, who gives a fuck? Everything's going to be okay. Like you're going to have money. You're not going to go broke. Everything's going to be fine. But like, maybe that's where you got it from. Yeah. Like, what do you need to raise for? Like, you already have everything you need. And like, you could say that in a real asshole way, or you could say that in like you're safe way. You know what I mean? And maybe that like, maybe as a young kid, like you took that as like, I'm safe, you know, like I have everything I need. I'm safe. And I got some money in my pocket that my dad gives me. Sure, he's not giving me more, but whatever. I don't know. Like, that's interesting.
And at the end of the day too, like I could have taken it the wrong way, like you said, and just like had a grudge against him and stuff. But like I grew up and I'm like, that's fine. Like I wish it didn't happen like that. But at the same time, I'm like, you have that respect for your parents. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Whatever. Yeah. You know, but I learned from that, right? So I'm like smart enough to like look back and think about those times, and I learned from it. And I'm like, all right, so how am I going to do this with my kids? You know, type deal. But, you know, I think it was a time where I'm like, hey, you know, I need more money. Like I need more money to do stuff, but then also like to like save if I ever want to move out and like do this stuff, you know? Because that's the thing too. Like if I was ever to be like, I want to go work at McDonald's, like a normal kid job, teenager job, they probably would have said no. Yeah. Because it's like, no, you have to do what we tell you to do, which is the work that we're making you do. And then, but at McDonald's, I'd be making my own paycheck and I'm doing whatever I want with that, right? Yeah. But they're just giving me money, and then I'd be like, hey, I need to go out, or I want to go out. And he's like, here, take some money. Yeah. And in his head, he's thinking like, probably, I give you everything. But in my head, I'm going like, yeah, but I work and you don't pay me enough for the work I'm doing. You're right. Which is,
it's hard to teach the perfect lessons as a parent, you know, and like how you do everything. Because like another thing he could have said is like, well, what are you doing extra? Like, why do you deserve a raise? Yeah. What have you done more to deserve more money than what you were getting paid last week? You know, and then I don't know, dude. Like, we went fucking pretty deep on this one, but yeah, I guess there's all kinds of different ways that could have went or whatever, but
yeah. But to answer your question, I don't worry about it.
That's cool.
I know what I have coming in.
Yeah.
Another thing too, and I'm not saying this about you or anything like that, but another thing too is like, I know at the end of the day, I'm going to do what it needs. There's so many people that will not work. Right. Yeah. So I will do whatever it takes. So tomorrow I wake up and all my clients fire me and I have no work. I'll go find new ones. Yeah. And if I can't, then I'll go work at fucking In-N-Out. Yeah. They're paying $22 an hour. Like, I'll go do whatever it takes. I'm not embarrassed to do whatever.
For sure. I know what you mean.
So I think part of me is that helps me because I'm like, I'm always good. Yeah. Because I know I have that strong work ethic.
So with with me, one of the things I've been doing this year, aside from like just trying to enjoy the moments and be present and, you know, like just go do things with my family, is also to stop worrying about money, right? Like that might be along the same lines, but what I mean is that there is a slow time every year. You know, I think we talked about this last time, but I've had a lot of years where we didn't have slow times, and nowadays there is slow times, and it's usually about this time, and then summer's fucking packed all the time, and like that's when you make all your money, and then it trickles into fall, and maybe there will be a good tour. So like everything always works out is what I'm saying, but like I'm trying just to trust it. I'm trying to, dude, I've been the slowest I've ever been. January, February, March, and April. I've got fucking one show next month. I've got one show in June. Like it's crazy slow right now. But I'm trying to just like accept it, know that eventually these things are all going to come in, everything's going to be fine, and just know that this is the routine now. The hard thing for me with the like, you know, feeling like I'm okay and everything is like how you said, like, I know what I got coming in. You've got these clients and all this stuff. This is another thing that I hope Rampage will help me to heal, right? If I have a Rolodex full of 20 or 30 clients that I've worked with. But when you don't have that, you're just subject to like, who's going to hire me? I have no control. I can hit up X amount of people and like ask them if they want to hire me, but like chances are they don't. And everybody probably pays kind of bullshit now anyways. And you don't know what's coming in, you know? So it makes it very, very like uncertain. And like you said, get a job at In-N-Out, they pay $22 an hour. Cool. Yeah, I could do that too. That would fucking suck and wouldn't be that happy about it. But like another thing I worry about if freestyle slows down to the point where I can't make it is like, bro, I have zero other skills. I can't build shit. I can't do anything at a level to where I could like have a career outside of just being somebody's personal 8-hour slave a day. I've never done anything. Like I went pro at 17. I stopped giving a fuck about school at probably 12 because I still graduated. But like at that point I was like, fuck yeah, dirt bikes. Like that's it for me. So like my whole life has been this. And like, sure, everybody always says like, oh, you've got more skills than you know. If you got out in the real world, you'd figure it out and you'd start using them for this, that, or the other thing. And I'm like, maybe you're right. Sure as fuck doesn't feel like that though. You know, it feels like all I know how to do is jump and do fucking tricks in the air. Yeah. But that makes it scary.
No, I think they're right. But at the same time, it's what makes you happy. And a lot of things aren't going to make you happy. And that was a point I was going to bring up, that you have a set of skills that are very specific, right? And you're still well enough to do those skills. Yeah. So like, if you can't ride tomorrow, or if you can't get shows or whatever, and you have to quit that, I can understand how that hurts. Yeah. You know, like me, like I said, like I have a lot of different skills. Yeah. You know, I've done photography, videography since like 2005. Yeah. I've, you know, started doing podcast. Like I have a lot of different skills and a lot of different things. Yeah. So I have no doubt in myself that I can go do something. Yeah. And I've been there where I've gotten a different job and I'm like, this is fun. Yeah. You know, like my last job, you know, I was doing marketing. It's great, but I quit because I wanted to be home because my kid was going to start school. That was my own choice. And I had my business and then I grew my business and now like it's great, you know? Yeah. So it wasn't that I didn't want to do it no more. Like I would still do that job, but I have other things I'd rather do. Yeah. You know, so I can understand why it's like hard for you, you know, but.
Yeah, I've definitely got to start working towards whatever eventually, because, you know, there's going to have to be a next move at some point. I can't do this forever. And part of the next move is Rampage, but like, especially if I'm not riding, like what's the, you know, the living income potential from Rampage? Sure, a little bit here and there, but like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Like I've been like kicking around sort of like what product in the motocross industry could I improve on of something that's out there and start small, right? Something I don't have to buy a bazillion of them to be able to stock, you know, have stock. But like, so kicking that around and like, you know, it'll probably fail, but like, that's a step in the direction of like figuring something out, right? Yeah. Try the next one. Like, I don't know. We did the CBD thing for a minute and like, I do feel like I learned some shit from that. And that was like a very, very half-hearted effort where like I wasn't even sure that that's what I wanted to try to do or anything. And I definitely learned some stuff. And it's very basic stuff like well, don't fucking get into a business about shit you don't give a fuck about or don't have enough information about or like, no, you're not an expert in it. Like maybe don't get into that. Right. Yeah. So yeah, I just think even if I were to create a business in the motocross industry and it failed, like you definitely got to have the mindset that like, well, dude, that's still a step in the right direction. Like, what'd you learn from that one? Yeah. Try it again. Figure out how to do it as cost effectively as possible and try it again.
Yeah. I agree, dude. That's what can't fail if you don't even try.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted to get into moto because I've been wanting to talk about certain topics for.
I know. I put my foot in my mouth last time I was here with the Jet Lawrence thing.
No, I think a lot of people actually agreed with you more than me.
Really?
Yeah. So that's cool. But dude, I got to call out some people.
Uh-oh.
And you're talking about like maybe making a product. So maybe I don't even know if you can make this better, but dude, Jet Lawrence.
Yeah.
He's a bitch.
Is it?
Chase Sexton. He's a bitch. Jason Anderson. I'm not really sure about him. But why are guys that are over 6 feet tall using starting blocks?
Timo actually told me about this before. I never had used one ever, right? In my first race back just first time I raced in who knows how long, Timo was there and he was talking about start blocks. And I'm like, yeah, but you're short, you know? And he's like, dude, just try it. So first race, go out, don't get a whole shot. Second race, I'm like, okay, I'll give him a try. So he puts the start blocks out. I put my feet on them. And like, I've always been a good starter, like as a kid, like I was a good starter. And second race, whole shot, dude. So what he was telling me is it's not a height, a balance, anything like that. It's a weight thing, right? That when you put your feet forward on starting blocks, it's, somehow helps your weight distribution to where the whole shot's better.
Well, how tall are you?
5'11" and a half.
Okay, man. So like a Chase is like over 6 foot.
Is he?
Maybe.
I don't know how tall
Chase or Jet is probably over 6 feet.
Maybe. I don't know.
He's a tall kid, dude.
I'm not sure. I really don't know.
I'm talking about those guys don't need it, right?
Dude, if but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I mean, so I get it. I just want to talk shit.
Okay.
Because me being, dude, I'm 5'6", and I can't touch the ground
not tip over.
for shit. Dude. Yeah. And I actually never use starting blocks till like probably 2 years ago.
Do you put them right on your side or do you put them in front of your foot pegs?
It depends. I'll stagger them too.
Because I haven't ever even looked at it on the start line, but from what Timo told me is like you want them in front. You don't want them like beside your foot pegs. You want them in front and you want to have your feet forward.
That's because they're tall. Because you guys are tall. Like I still need them right there. We need
a call in here. What do they call it on that show? Phone a friend.
Lifeline. Yeah.
Call Timo. Why in the world do you put starting blocks in front?
Well, because we're short. So I've never used them. It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I'd always just like one leg it. Mm-hmm. So I always did starts like that.
Probably not ideal.
Yeah, it's all right. Like It's not bad. But then I was like, I'm old, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I like made my own wood ones and stuff. So I started doing that, and it's whatever. It's still like the same thing happens, at the start for me. So it doesn't even matter. But I just ordered some new ones, the ones that you can like make super tall.
Oh, okay.
I should get them this week. So I was thinking maybe you should
there you go.
Start doing those or something as a product.
Add them to the lineup. I have a product in mind, but I don't want to talk about it yet. Somebody will fucking take it.
Yeah.
Because it'll take me probably 2 years to actually sell one of them.
Okay.
So are they bitches just because of the start blocks, or is there other reasons?
For me, because of the start blocks, because you don't need them. If you're 5'9" and above, you should not have starting blocks.
Okay.
In my opinion. But I do see that. So I saw a video of a Euro guy, right? Dude, he had the ones that are adjustable, like the ones I got. Both his feet were on the pegs. And they were high enough to where just his toes were on it. Right? So he's just like ready to go.
Yeah.
Dude, gate drops, he gasses it. Never once does he take his feet off because his feet are already there and he's able to shift. Dude, it was like the gnarliest start I've ever seen.
Be interesting. Did they compare it to like a start without the start blocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a guy, I forget.
They're shooting the video and they're like, hey man, let's fuck up the reaction time a little bit on this one. Huh?
I forgot who the guy is because it's a Euro dude, but he was on a Yamaha. But dude, I couldn't believe it because he was just like, just his toes were like on the blocks. They were just high enough where his toes were hanging and they're on it. So both his feet are on the peg.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. So he takes off super straight, and then he's able to shift right off the get-go. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense. I'm just talking shit because I'm short.
Yeah.
And we need it.
Was it MC back in the day that used to kick back, right? Because he'd have the feet forward too, and he would kick
with
back
his heel.
For the.
I think
for the
RC did.
Oh, okay. That's such a gamble, huh?
Yeah.
Miss it.
Dude, I hit up Stuart on Insta, but he never hit me up. Asking him. 'Cause I don't remember Stuart or RC ever using. And they're short.
No.
I mean, I'm sure they're
shot devices. What year did whole shot devices come into play to where they used them all the time? That had to have been like,
I think 2005.
Yeah, I was gonna say right about then. So it's just maybe that's the new thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but it makes sense. Like those guys are using it and they're more stable.
Yeah,
you know, whatever. But like a Cooper Webb, he needs it. Justin Cooper, he needs it. You know, those type of guys. But like those, if you're 5'9" and above, dude, you don't need those.
Yeah.
But I do see how they are an advantage. If you actually use them.
I don't have enough information on this topic, and I've only ever used them one time. So
I was just surprised because I think at the beginning of last year and even this year, I don't remember Lawrence using it. And then this last weekend's race, I saw and he had the same ones that like...
Dude, I've never seen anybody. That's how much I'm paying attention to start blocks. I've never even noticed them for anybody on the line.
So I noticed Sexton's been using them for a while.
Yeah.
But him and Lawrence have the same exact ones. And then I was trying to like see if Jason Anderson, because he's tall too. Yeah. Or Adamson Cirillo. All those guys are super tall. They don't need it, you know? So I'm like, what are you guys doing?
I don't know.
But I can imagine how it keeps them straighter or reaction time where like to get your feet up and stuff like that. It's already there. Have you seen that clip of Lawrence on the start where he goes and his front wheel never touches the ground?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, it's sick. So he like goes and he rides like, dude, the wheel's like that far off the ground.
Yeah, the whole time.
And it never touches, so it never spins. It's just like dead set, you know?
Well, that's crazy.
And he's like going, like just whole shots everyone.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's like on Instagram.
Damn.
But it's just stuff like that. Like these guys, and the start is really what's making it for these guys too.
I know. Yeah, this guy, you can't get a mediocre start. And like, you're not going to do shit anymore. Yeah. Especially like the last couple tracks have seen like nobody's really been able to make up much time on them. The last one was pretty good to me, but like seemed pretty good. But the week before, it was like, dude, everybody's the same fucking speed on this track.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
So I would like to see, you know how they got the starting grids now? Like the gate grids or whatever, like the metal they like start on? Yep. I would like to see like a device that they could just put on all of them. That's like right up to the pegs, and then like all the guys start at the same height, and just have their feet on.
Like the metal grate, like picks up on the sides, and you just.
Or you could attach something like just a metal piece that goes in, and then it's just there. So like you could just like tippy toe it, and then everyone's starting like that. I would love to see like that happen. That'd be pretty gnarly.
These are all things I've never even. None of this. This is all first time I've heard about or thought about any of this. So I'm like,
well, because you're over 5'9", dude.
Yeah, exactly. I've never thought about start blocks before this conversation.
So this week I went and bought the start blocks that have like that extendo clip on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you tested them yet? Oh wait, you said they haven't came yet.
They better come by Friday. So this week I'm getting
Dude,
whole
that'll
shots.
be your excuse to not go this weekend. Well, I don't have my start block, so I guess I can't go to the Mammoth qualifier.
Yeah. What do you think about the racing though this year?
Let's see. Man, I think it's been pretty good. Jet is so fucking good. He makes the dudes that we've always watched and been like, wow, dude, those guys are crazy good. He makes them look not that good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been interesting because he's had his bobbles and like we're coming into 2 rounds left and points are still kind of close. I think he's basically got it now, but it's been touch and go a little bit throughout the whole season. But, you know, despite like whatever little mistakes he's made to let the other guys catch up to him, like, dude, he's so far above everybody. Yeah. It's insane. And like, Tomac is just not the same guy. It doesn't seem.
He has been looking good though.
He has been looking pretty good. But when I watch him, there's like something different to where he looks like more uncomfortable. And he looks like a little more like sketchy. You know, like before you'd see him, maybe he'd make a mistake, but he would just fucking manhandle it. And it was a mistake that like didn't really look like a mistake. And like I watch him now and it's all these like little things where it looks like a real like kind of uncomfortable mistake. And it's like, it doesn't seem very like, doesn't seem very Tomac of him, you know?
Well, I think before he made the bike his bitch, and now it's vice versa.
A little bit, yeah.
And I think he's gotten better, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So I think he's getting more used to the bike, or just even in better shape, I can imagine. But did you see the race, I think 2 races or 2 races ago, where where Roxon's shock blew up? Did you see that race?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Where he like was jumping that gnarly, like kind of hip triple thing into the whoops.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't hardly remember the track. I don't even drink anymore, and I can't remember anything.
Effects of drinking.
Yeah, maybe.
So that was pretty dope. I was like, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I find it weird that he's been so off with like tearing an Achilles, which I know they say it's super gnarly, but like I always think of like crashes I had that like really affect me for a while, or like when I fucking have a shit eater, right? Like huge mistake and like crash really hard, and you have the whole sequence of like you're laying there and everything's, what the hell's going on, and like all that really puts something in my head that's like hard to get over. But it was like when I popped my shoulder out, like I could just wait for my shoulder to feel better and then go do the same shit. And I know it's quite a big difference. I'm not comparing it, but like he didn't crash. You know what I mean? Like he barely did anything wrong, and like just wrong foot placement, his Achilles popped. And it seems to me like something like that. It's like, it doesn't seem like you would have these like bad memories that would like slow you down or get in your head or anything like that. And it's just weird that
I think he just came back and he was in shape, but he wasn't like at the shape that he needs to be. And like I said, 450s are gnarly.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's at that shape right now. I think he's getting there, because that's why he's been getting better throughout the weeks.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's there yet, and that's what I'm saying. I think he's the bike's bitch right now, not the other way around, you know? Like,
well, he's got how many kids now, too?
I think he only has 1, maybe 2.
I thought he's got 2. I thought he had 2. Maybe I don't know. But that changes some people to where they just like don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Some people like care more because they're like, I gotta do good. I want to take care of this family, and then I guess that would kind of be like the mentality of somebody that still needs to prove it, still needs to make it. Whereas like Tomac's made it, and now he's like started his family. And like some people, that just makes him go like, you know what, dirt bike, I still love this, but like this is what's important over here.
Yeah. And it's probably hard too when there's like this young dude that's kind of unbeatable.
I know.
And you're like, dang.
How about the lights race last weekend though, with Swole just cleaning out Hammaker and
that was crazy.
I almost felt like that was a little bit of like Hammaker's fault.
I did too.
Because like
kind of let off. You saw him.
It was like Ferrandis and Christian Craig back in the year. Remember when Ferrandis landed the finish line and cut way in, and Craig went around the outside and just held it on the whole time, and then hit him. Like it's kind of your decision not to check up at that point. Like I'm gonna get by. Like
you're playing chicken.
Yeah. Like guaranteed he saw him coming. Maybe he didn't think he was coming over that far, but like you got somebody jumping into the sand whoops and starting to push wide. Like that's kind of when you got to be like, I guess he's got me. And if you want to fight it, well, you're taking the chance.
I'm glad he said that, because
even Ricky said it was Swole's fault on there.
Swole's fault? Yeah. And I thought it was the other way around, but I'm like way into caution. I'm not out there to get hurt. So that's exactly what I would do in that situation. I would see this guy like really pinning it and then be like, dude, he might jump into me, even if he's not going to.
Yeah.
But like back off a little bit. So if he does, you barely miss him,
Yeah, it's like trying to beat a train across the train tracks, right? Yeah. Like, and you might make it, or the train might clip you.
Yeah.
He might have been able to make it if it was just slightly different, but it wasn't. And I feel like he was in that situation where he was racing the train across the tracks.
Yeah. So that was a bummer too, because Swole, he both won the heat race. Yeah, it was a bummer for both of them.
Yeah.
And then Deegan now is 14 points behind with one more race, or 15.
Yeah. How about Pierce Brown just yards it? That was a crazy race, dude.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah, and then the 450s was wild too with Webb at the end there.
Do you think Deegan's gonna go for the murder in the next race?
No.
Yeah, I don't think there's not much. Like, how could you get Vial to finish? What's he got to finish? Like, probably like 15th or something like that.
I'm not sure, but isn't it a west and east race? It is.
So what's that mean?
Well,
there's 2 races left, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a East-West shootout and one East and one West, wouldn't there be 2 races left?
There's one more West Coast race and then an East-West shootout.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad.
So, so I think the next one is the East-West shootout, I think.
Yeah.
And in that scenario, there's more guys. So there's a good chance that Deegan and Vial could not like even do good, you know? So I don't know. But
Deegan would literally have to win, and he'd have to be able to punt Vial at the perfect time for him to get like, what'd you say, 12 points behind?
15.
15? I don't know. I guess Vial's probably only got to get like 7th or 8th, maybe.
Yeah, which is, and it all depends on starts too. Like we were talking about, you know, the starts have been kind of gnarly for Deegan, and even Vial's getting starts in the back, and then has to work his way forward. But I think Vial knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Deegan hasn't really been that strong this year, to be honest.
And that's the crazy thing too, because you know I know a lot of people are up on Deegan, and I like the kid. He's super fast, and you know, like it's really exciting to see him. Mm-hmm. But I thought he was going to dominate. Yeah. And even with Faulkner, I was like, he might battle Faulkner, and maybe Faulkner might squeeze it out. That's kind of what I thought. But I'm like, dude, he's going to do pretty good. I mean, he's going to come in second at least, right? Yeah. So with that being said, I think now Vial wins the championship. We have that guy that he has to beat. So it's not like next year we're going to be like, oh, you know, yeah, Deegan. It's like, no, it's Vial.
Yeah. You know what's interesting that I was just thinking about when we were talking about that is we're like, oh, I thought Deegan would have been better last year. And like rookie year, really good. But what did he have? Like 1 podium? I'm talking about in the Supercross series, not in the SMX stuff.
No, I think he podiumed more. He got 3rd in points.
Yeah, but either way, he was like, he wasn't winning then, you know what I mean? And he did really good in outdoors, which is a whole different animal, you know? And then he won the SMX thing and looked really good there. But, like, sometimes I wonder about that. It's fucking September. These guys have been going all year. They're getting ready to make changes for the year. They're kind of checked out. They don't need an extra $100,000 or whatever the hell it's going to be. Most of the guys that are winning are probably balling out of control anyways. So, like, he wins those. Like, is that like going over to the Geneva Supercross and winning that? You know what I mean? Like, is it? I don't know. It's probably different still, but, like, we all had this thing like, oh, Deegan's gonna kill it this year, but like he did really good last year, but like he didn't kill it last year. He was great. He was top 5 all the time, a couple podiums or whatever, like you said, and then he won at an event that maybe everybody didn't give a fuck about, you know, like maybe, because like I certainly didn't give as much of a fuck about SMX watching it as I did like watching Supercross.
Well, and he barely won that too because Joe Shimoda was like right there. Yeah. And Joe just blew it. Like, I don't know what's wrong with that dude.
Oh, he hasn't been that good this year either.
Yeah. So he just blew it there at the very end. But the thing kind of bugs me is how they say like Deegan, you know, he's a rookie, but so is Vial. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a GP champion, but not a Supercross champion. Yeah. So this is his second year.
Yeah, give him the credit. But he's French, and he got a weird voice, and they just don't like him, you know?
Yeah, but he's pretty good.
No, he is really good. So, I've enjoyed watching him race. I just don't like the podium interviews. Yeah. I'm kidding. They're fine.
Well, kind of better than Deegan's cringe ones sometimes.
Oh, my gosh. Let's go to the danger zone, baby.
Dude, Austin's over there laying paralyzed, and he's like, who
cares?
It
was so cringe when he kept doing that.
He stopped after that one. After the Austin Faulkner one. He kind of does it a little bit, but in his interview, he did say he's well aware of what to say. Yeah. And, you know, so he's trained pretty good, but he did say, he's like, oh, if I don't win, that's fine because I you know, I'm young. I have a long career and stuff. And it's true. He wins this year. Next year, he goes in, defends.
Yeah, fuck.
And then all of a sudden, when he's 19, 450s.
And then that just kills guys sometimes. That just is a career ender for them because they're like, I'm not ready for this.
Adam Cincerillo.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. It's like that 50 Cent song. I don't know. Well, you're not much of a rap guy, but he has that song where he's like,
Find me in the club.
I forget what song it is, but he's like, damn, homie. In high school, you were the man, homie.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to you?
Yeah.
I just think about that with like a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
Cincerillo, Craig, like all these guys where it's like, damn, homie, in the 250s, you were the man.
Yeah.
Then you move up to the 450s and
Cold
it's
Nichols.
Like, you have a hard time.
Yeah. Cold Nichols was one of them. Christian Craig was one of them. But I mean, like, dude, there can only be so many guys that are the guy.
Yeah.
And,
but talking, I mean, I don't know about Christian Craig, but I mean, kind of. He won the championship and then he moved up. Since Rillo, like we all thought he was going to be the next big thing, like a Villapoto.
Did he win a championship?
I don't think so.
Rillo, yeah, I didn't think he. I mean, I think everybody. I didn't know much, but I think everybody thought he was going to be the next big thing coming off of minis, or coming off of into the pro class. But I think it was like pretty quick that it's like, oh boy, but he explodes. You know, a lot.
Michael Essie, phenom, and then comes in and they don't do much. So it's one of those things, and it's like it is really crazy because those guys are like kind of stapled to be the next big thing, and they don't make it. And then another guy comes in. Yeah. You know, like a Jason Anderson, he was never really well known for that. I
actually heard a guy talking about this on the internet the other day, and he was talking about how these guys, and he used Michael Essie specifically as an example, but talked about how these guys, they dominated everything in their youth career, and like it just, I can't remember what he said, but just how it like changes the overall mentality of the rider to where like they're almost set up to fail when they show up and don't just start winning in the big series, you know, or with the big boys. So, like, maybe if they do, they can play off that momentum. But if they don't, they're fucked. Yeah. Because they're not built for that. They don't know how to handle it. They didn't do it. They've won everything their whole life. And then all of a sudden, like, you get beat week and week after. Like, I don't know. What do I know? Nothing.
Yeah. But it's crazy. You know, Hampshire might win the title this year.
That's pretty wild.
I don't really know the points on that, but I think he has a pretty good.
He's got a pretty good lead right now.
Yeah, so 2 more races for him.
Yeah,
he might win the points. So what's that mean? He goes up to 450s. I don't see him doing much. No,
me neither, dude. I don't either.
So,
don't they have 1 year to defend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't won one before.
No, I think he'd be done. I think if you win, you get the next year to defend, and like no matter what you do the next year, you're out.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's kind of a newer thing, right?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I thought they always got bumped for winning.
I mean, I think they should get bunted for age. That's a sensitive topic.
You see guys like Jeremy Martin, and they're just like hanging on to it.
Max Anstey.
Fuck, he's killing it right now. I mean, I feel like he's had a resurgence.
Yeah.
Resurgence, you know, like he's a...
But if he was in 450s, it wouldn't be that.
Nah.
That's the thing.
But who knows what could happen to him now? How old is he?
Probably 30.
Yeah, he's a little older. So nothing's probably going to happen. But imagine a scenario where a guy's kind of a mid-pack rider for his whole life, and then he has this fucking breakout season, and it puts this insane amount of confidence in his head, and then he works even harder, and then the next year he shows up on a bike that's amazing, a bike like he's never rode before, and then all of a sudden he's one of the guys.
Yeah.
You know, like that could be the case, or I don't know. I think he's doing really well, but like I'm not saying I see that happening with him. I just mean like I do think that can happen, because it baffles me all the time that it's like when you watch guys who were the guy or who should be the guy, and you see all this crazy shit happen to them, and you're like, man, what happened to you? You know, and it's like, will something mess their head up? You know, because it's not like they forgot how to ride. Those guys aren't out partying at the clubs all week long or anything like that. So it's like, it's not like most of them are not taking it seriously, but it's like something happens to their head. So it's just like, it's just their head, you know? Yeah. It's interesting to watch.
And do you think these teams kind of focus more on the young kids, though?
They got to, right?
I mean, they got to. Yeah, that's per business. Yeah. That's like the best business move, I think. But yeah, looking into next year, you look at Anstey and you're like, Monster, Pro Circuit Energy, Kawasaki, hey, we could probably pick them up, but they probably won't. You know what I mean?
They can't do any worse picks, right? Fucking, I thought they were going to have a title this year, dude. Like, when's the last time they won one? It's been a long time.
They've been cursed for a little while now.
Yeah. I thought they had one. That McAdoo thing, that's a bummer, dude.
Well, that and Kitchen.
Is he out? Well, he might still... Oh, so that's his coast, right? He might west. Be fairly close to Hampshire, actually. And he broke ribs, but dude, he fucking finished the race.
Dude, like, I couldn't believe... I didn't know he broke his ribs. I know he was in the hospital after, and he talked about his ribs. I'm like, dude...
maybe they weren't broken then.
I'm like, dude, you just were like very far back there, and you came up, and you moved up to like 6. You were on the rails. There's no way anything's broken in your body.
I know, dude.
That's my opinion. I think
about that sometimes when I hear that too. Like, or maybe he's got like a hairline crack or something like that. Because like, Dude, last year I broke one rib. Like, I mean, it was clean through and displaced, but like, I was fucked up. Like, getting out of bed was like, ah.
Yeah. And I know you had adrenaline going.
Yeah. But that don't last the whole race.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I haven't heard much afterwards.
So he's got
the
two
kitchen,
races left. So he could still do it because he's looked phenomenal this year.
Yeah, but say he wins and Hampshire gets second. East Coast West shootout is going to be kind of a deciding factor.
I feel
for
like
a lot
he's
of those
close
guys.
enough. Maybe I feel like he's under 10 for sure. Because I remember when he was way back in the pack. I don't remember, but I think I remember when he was way back in the pack. They said he was like 12 points down or something. So I think he got it into like lower single digits. I think to where maybe just winning the next two would be enough.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd like to see him win. I've liked him on PC Cowie.
I like Kitchen. He's cool, but you know, also I like RJ.
Yeah, I'm not a huge RJ fan.
Yeah,
I don't not like him. I don't know, something about.
I became an RJ fan. Like I never really cared for him. I didn't think he was like the greatest, but I remember one year at Red Bull Straight Rhythm.
Yeah,
I think he was in the whoops and he went over the bars headfirst into like the next obstacle.
Oh, I think I remember that.
And I'm like, that guy just got paralyzed.
Yeah, dude.
I'm a holy shit. And then he comes back and good for him.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm a fan of you because that was pretty gnarly.
I remember that. I actually messaged my manager who I think was there or something. I'm like, bro, is he okay?
Yeah.
Because like that was gnarly.
Like head on into the next feature. Yeah.
It honestly looked like he fucking paralyzed himself.
Yeah. So after that, you know, he came back and started doing better and better. I'm like, good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Like, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't care. Same as the street riding. Like, I don't not like him, but I don't like root for him, you know?
Yeah.
I don't root against him either.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of like wild Jason Anderson style a little bit that can be fun to watch.
He goes for it.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a question for you now. So, first FMX Rampage show is a month and a half. And I guess we're going to talk about this a little bit after the podcast, but I think you might do a little bit of this live scenario, like a little bit of talking to a live crowd. What do you think about that? How you feeling?
Baby shit.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear, dude. Good.
No, yeah, I'm ready.
Sweet.
Yeah. I know you've been talking about you've rewritten the show and all that. So once we talk about that and kind of go over it, you know, it's kind of overwhelming at first, I think. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, okay. And then you got it.
So getting stuck in Houston the other night actually ended up being not good. It sucked. But like the flight home the next day, I was just couldn't sleep on the flight in the morning. I had 2 flights. And I just went through my whole show. And I made it into like single page documents of like every segment of the show. But I did it as simple as possible. So it's kind of one of those things where I tried to turn like a really bad scenario into like a good one because TSA stopped me. They actually pulled me off the plane because of my suspension case, which is crazy. Because last time they were like, hey, your bag can't go. And I'm like, cool. Like, I'll get somebody to pick it up. It's all good.
Yeah.
And they fucking pulled me off the plane for this one. Like, you have gas and motor parts in there. And I'm like, fuck you, I do. Like, I don't have gas or motor parts in there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Big fiasco.
But even if you did.
I do understand the point of it is that, like, if there is a small fire, you don't want to make it bigger. You know what I mean? But like, I don't have gas and motor parts in there. But dude, what's weird is, so I ended up getting my bag, fucking almost got in a fist fight with the fuckface TSA guy who was talking to me about it and telling me how it's crazy, dude, because he's talking about grease and oil and how it can't go anywhere. And then he's talking about how there's a big bicycle race the week before and everybody had their bicycles. I'm like, you know, every fucking wheel has bearings in it that has grease and oil, like a small amount, right? They don't give a fuck. This motherfucker told me, he's like, that's a golf bag. You don't even have golf clubs in there. And I'm like, I know I don't have golf clubs. This is what my shit fits in. And he's like, you can't travel with that bag because it doesn't have golf clubs. That's a golf bag. It has to have golf clubs. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me, right? I'm like, dude, you're telling me I have a pair of just metal handlebars in there. You're telling me I can't put those handlebars in that bag and travel with it? Nope. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. So like TSA, it's just once they decide something, you're fucked. Honestly, I think what they didn't like was my silencer because like, silencers can like have a smell, right? Because like the air from the motor, and they can get carbon buildup in them as well. So like technically there is a little bit of oil, but the weird thing is I take the silencer, I go back, I had to get a hotel that night. I wasn't flying home anymore. I go back to the hotel. Chuck Carruthers' brother, Bob, came out. He picked my stuff up and was going to take it to UPS the next day because my flight was at 7, so no chance I could make it anywhere. I didn't get to the hotel till 8. Had to fly out at 7, so like I had no options to ship it out myself. So I gave him the suspension just in case, even though they really didn't give a fuck about the suspension. I gave him the suspension. I gave him the silencer. Anything. I put the filter in there, you know. And then I washed everything in the tub, dude. Like, I had a rag with like shampoo all over it and just washed the fuck out of it. Like the airbox mainly, because like the airbox is just dirty and like, I don't know. And like, even after all of that, my bag smelled, had like a gas fume. Because apparently what happened was they opened it and they got a whiff of like, basically like exhaust smoke, you know? And they're like, gas, you know? So then they weren't going to let it go. That happened 2 weekends in a row when I was traveling overseas. So I take out the stuff that has any oil in it. There's 0 things that have a drop of oil. Everything's cleaned like thoroughly in the tub and it still fucking smells. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I ever going to travel overseas again? Because now I feel like 2 times in a row, they've probably got me flagged to where I go through and they're like, this guy's, he's always bringing what you guaranteed. Like they flag everybody for everything.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, how in the world am I ever going to go overseas again? And that's used to be where the money was. It's not so much anymore. But anyways, that sucked. But yeah, I got some good stuff for the show. So I think it's going to be pretty simple to go through and Django Unchained. Yeah. Coming to an FMX Rampage near you.
Dude, the problem with the TSA is the inconsistency. Like, you know, flying out of here, out of Reno, they don't make you take much stuff out.
They don't give a fuck.
And then, you know, you get to a different airport, but like Vegas, they like pulled me aside for my kid's switch.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, I know. That's super weird, huh?
So they pulled me aside for Jackson's switch.
Yeah.
But not for the little one. So they're like, yeah, these bags are fine, but this one we need to run through again.
Yeah.
And then I realized, or my wife said, she's like, but there's a switch in that bag too. And they didn't say nothing about that one.
Yeah.
So it's like inconsistency. And I even told the guy, I'm like, hey, well, in Reno, they don't even make you take that out.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it depends on the airport. It's like, well, it shouldn't.
Stupid. Why does it depend on the fucking airport? Like, just make a uniform set of rules.
Yeah. There's someone that made a bomb with a switch at the Vegas airport, but not the Reno one.
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
Also, someone tried to make a bomb 25 fucking years ago, and we don't have any new ideas, so we still make you take your shoes off.
Yeah. And also, no one's really like used the bomb in a plane to like blow up a plane, but they used the plane to go into a building. So, I mean, that doesn't really add up.
Why are you looking for bombs? Why are you looking for plane flyers?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's annoying. The biggest annoying thing for me is that like once TSA says something, like you can't do anything. You can't do anything. So the first time it happened to me, I said, can I have somebody pick it up? And they're like, they better get here right now. It was like 7:30. And she's like, they better be here by 8:50 because I'm leaving. And I'm like, dude, I can have somebody pick it up tomorrow. Easy. Like, no problem. Nope. If they're not here by 8:50, we're throwing it away. I'm like, you fucking cocksuckers, dude. So, like, I'm just stressing about how to find somebody in Chicago to come get my bag. Works out, right? So when they take me back to the counter off the flight, I'm like, dude, can't I just have somebody pick it up? I can have somebody here in 20 minutes. I didn't even know who the fuck I was going to have at that point, but I figured I could figure it out. And they're like, no, you need to come out here. So they tell me where to go. It takes me 45 minutes to get there because I'm in the Houston airport and it was like one specific like ticketing area that like I was going all over the place. It takes me 45 minutes to get there. And then it's just sitting there. And then I just grabbed it. And I'm like, you had to pull me off the flight and like not let me go home tonight to do, like, anybody could have done this, right? Like, why couldn't I have just had some, they're just such fucking cocksuckers. It's like, do you think it's a bomb or do you think it can't fly? Oh, it can't fly? So why the fuck can't I get somebody to pick it up? Stop being such a cocksucker. Yeah. But they're God and they know they're God. So like you can't.
That's the problem.
Yeah. You can't talk to them anytime anything happens. Like,
can you bribe them?
Oh yeah.
Or are they like police officers?
Maybe in Mexico you can bribe them, but no, you can't fucking bribe them with shit. They don't give a. I honestly think those people just like being God.
Yeah, but $200 cash.
Yeah. I didn't try that one. Maybe next time I'll try it.
If you're a TSA agent, hit us up and let us know. So I don't know.
No shit. Huh?
I don't know if they're like cops. Like, yeah, obviously you can't do that to a cop, but a TSA agent. And at the same time, they're aware. It's like they know you fly with this shit all the time.
Bro, you would be surprised the conversations I had with just the people that day getting my shit there when it was like, I try to tell them, I'm like, this is the same bag that I've been traveling with for over 10 years. And like, well, then you've been doing that illegally this whole time. And I'm like, fuck you.
Should have told them, show me the law.
Yeah. Well, when the guy came to my bag, when I finally got the TSA guy there and I was like talking to him about it, and I was fucking pissed. So I was being an asshole for sure. But I'm like, let's open my bag up. I'm like, show me exactly what you don't like so I can fucking take it out. I'm like, I won't put it in there, but like, tell me what you don't like. And he wouldn't even do it.
Yeah.
He didn't even, he's like, well, they just, and that's when he went into the golf bag thing. Like, well, it's a golf bag. Can't have that, you know? And it's like, you're such a fucking idiot, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the point of even trying to talk to him?
Dude, I'll tell you, to end the show, I'll tell you what to do next time.
Okay.
You go in there, they give you shit, they do all this, and you pull out is it because I'm trans? You do that, make a scene, and then all of a sudden they're like, holy shit, never mind.
You're right.
Go back to your flight.
Fuck, why didn't I think of that? I wasn't thinking clearly enough to pull.
But you gotta do it with a serious face.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Yeah. You gotta be super serious.
Is it because I'm trans? Because I'm really a woman being a man right now.
Yeah. Oh, you don't believe me?
Mm-hmm.
You just called me sir.
Yeah. And you frisked me and you should have had a woman do it.
So many things that could go wrong for them there, huh?
Yeah. They know it.
Damn. And that's actually a fucking good idea.
And I'm super active on Twitter.
Yeah.
I will tweet this. And people are scared of that shit.
That is actually, I tell you what. Next time I'm with a real overzealous asshole at TSA, I'm pulling the trans card just to see if it works.
If you get arrested and stuff, just call me and let me know.
Bro, you can't get arrested for being trans.
It's true.
That's a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you'll go to the female prison.
Jeez. Oh, man.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by and hanging.
Hell yeah. I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
Next week, I got a good show. If you're into healthy diets and working out, you might want to tune in next week.
Who you got on there?
I got someone coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Anybody watching, if you want to follow me on socials, AdamJones760 on Instagram, and my company, FMX Rampage. So
yeah, shows coming. You have a schedule on there now.
Yeah, I got a schedule on the Facebook. I don't know if it's probably not on the. I'll figure it all out. But yeah, it's easy to find. So we got like six big shows this summer right now, and hopefully a couple other small ones. Yeah. So make sure you check it out, and if you're in the area, check out the schedule and come to the show. Should be fun. Support your local Daredevil.